So we're joined by St Anthony's manager Mark Montgomery after an exit in the Strathclyde Demolition Western Scotland Cup this afternoon at Hurlford. Marty, how do you think the game went today?
To be honest with you, Martin, we set out with a plan and set our stall out to well in the knowledge of the level of opposition that we were up against and sort of the stage that we're at in our own sort of build, so to speak. And the idea was to try and keep things nice and solid and try and frustrate Hurlford and accept that we weren't going to have the lion's share of the ball and try and be comfortable with that. And certainly the first 45, I couldn't have been any happier with that. I think Big Coops has one or two really good saves, but apart from that, they don't really trouble us that much at all. We're very structured and we defend very well. My disappointing maybe was probably felt the once or twice that we had opportunities to sort of break up the pitch. I felt we could have maybe shown a wee bit more composure and maybe asked a wee bit more of a question of the Hurlford back line or the Hurlford goalkeeper and we never done that. So at half time we spoke a wee bit about that. The message was to try and go out in the second half and try and just continue that for as long as we possibly can. And it was very much a look, we've given ourselves a real chance, we're still in the game and things were going to plan. And then at the start of the second half, I thought we continued to do the same. And again, it's the frustration. The frustrating really comes from the fact that the longer it was gone, the more frustrated you could see Hurlford getting, and we felt as if it was going our way. They're over-hitting passes, they're forcing decisions, and then they hit that shot, and young Mo, obviously a young player, and it's human nature. Something's coming, anything at your face at 25-30 mile an hour. Human reaction is to try and protect yourself, and he puts his hands up, which obviously he can't do, and the referee gives the penalty. And I think they make the minute the penalty goes in, so much of the game plan it sort of saps away, because immediately you see the change in Hurlford. They stop trying to force things. Their decision making immediately becomes a wee bit better. The quality of their passing becomes a wee bit better, and then we find ourselves, a goal down and up against a more settled sort of higher level opposition. For me, the biggest disappointment in the second half was the nature of the second and the third goal, and I don't want to comment too much before I look at the game back, which we always do. But for me, it's 2 free headers in our box, and that can't happen at any level. But certainly not against the level of attackers that we're playing against the day. But I'm always wanting to look at the sort of bigger picture, and I would ask myself, did we do enough in the first instance to stop the crosses coming in the first place? So that's things that we'll look at during the week at training. And we'll try and see if we can again, learn from our mistakes and try and be better next week. But again, I spoke to the boys after it, Martin, and as much as it's disappointing, you're coming in, it's a 4-0 defeat. I get it, football's a results-driven business, and you can look at all the stats in the world, and sometimes as a coach they'll tell you a story, but the bottom line is, for the outside looking in, all anybody's looking at is that one statistic, and that's the final score, and we're well aware of that, and I can see, it's easy for me to see. I can see it coming, and I can see improvements, and I can see starting to gel, and I'm not just saying that, I can. But that's because I'm there and I'm working with the players all week, and I'm, I can see all that starting to come. But for the outside looking in, it's not as obvious. But I'm still very confident that it will come. I'm in absolute zero doubt. I look around that changing room and I know that every single one of the boys are doing their absolute tank. They're all in. They're committed. They're committed to making it a success here, and I believe that they will. But when you put so much into a game, and then we fall short in the latter stages of the game, which is a big issue that we realise we have to address, you can't help but feel a wee bit sorry for them.
And obviously next week you'll get the luxury of what appears to be a free week.
Yeah.
So how are we using that time?
Well, as I say to you, Martin, I've got three or four boys coming in that I've done my homework on, and I've been working to try and get in for some couple of them in a number of weeks. One or two of them have actually been on my radar since the start of the season, and we hope to get these boys in. We've had a lot of good positive talks with them, get them training this week, and in an ideal world I'm going to start to put the feelers out to maybe get a wee friendly organised for Saturday. What we'll also probably do is there's obviously, as you're well aware, that there's quite a few of the boys who are pretty very much established first team players, but they're still technically fully eligible under 20s, and we might look to sort of get some of the minutes on the Friday night to sort of free up these spaces on a Saturday to give some of the fringe players some minutes and get a right good proper look at the trialists. So we'll make sure that we get we capitalise on the 3 weeks, so to speak, and it gives us 2 weeks for now to prepare for what, as I've already said, is the bread and butter, and that's the league for our trip down to Ardeer, 2 weeks a day. And as I've said, Martin, and we spoke at this previously as well, we knew it was going to be a tough start. We're a wee bit behind schedule, certainly points wise, in terms of where I wanted us to be. But with the league reconstruction this year and so many teams potentially able to go up, that's a good thing for us, in the sense that if we can, we've got an idea of how many points we would like to have on the board before Christmas, and we feel that that's achievable if we continue to progress in the way that we have. And if we can hit that target going into Christmas, then I feel that we can go into the new year with something still to play for, and still, fighting to try and maybe get a wee run in the second half of the season and go for promotion. And I get it, people looking now are going, where are you seeing that for? But that's my general feeling, as I'm looking at the squad sort of evolving.
Magic. Well, thanks very much for your time.
No bother, Martin.
I'll see you after the game in Ardeer.
Thank you.
3, 2, 1, let's go!